So what is a consent order in a bankruptcy case? Well, it is just what it says. It is an order where parties are consenting to something. Typically, we're going to see consent orders done in issues with mortgages. That's the most frequent one that we see here, at least in the Northern District of Georgia, is somebody gets behind usually on their mortgage, and the mortgage company files a motion and says, hey, they didn't pay their payment. And we go to our client and say, hey, what happened? And it could be, hey, I got sick, I got laid off. There could be a million reasons why. But the point is, we're going to try to work out a consent order. And typically the way it works is, at least, and again, this is very dependent on where you're located. So I'm speaking to where I'm located in the Northern District of Georgia. But typically the way it works is, if you get behind on your mortgage, as long as you can come up with half of what you got behind on, we can typically get that balance worked out. We typically are going to ask for 6 months to do a repayment plan. And so the way it'll work is we'll ask for whatever is still due, and that amount will probably include the attorney fees and costs, because the other side has to incur cost when you don't do what you're supposed to file these motions. So don't get peeved when there's attorney fees, because when you make an attorney do anything, there's usually fees involved. Sorry, it's the way it works. Because that's extra work that was not loaded in when your case was filed. So if you are not doing what you're supposed to, and then extra work comes out, then you get charged for the extra work. So make sure, and with our office, just heads up, with our office, the first time you're in a case and you have let's call it a hiccup, something like this, we're not going to charge you for that. To be honest, it's always kind of expected on our side that you're going to have something come up. But now if something happens again, oh yeah, you're getting charged for that. So just heads up. So don't think that it's just you can constantly keep having hiccups and new things and you don't have to pay for them. You will pay for them. But on the creditor side, yep, you're going to get charged. So in that amount that we're going to do a workout with, typically those fees will be in that workout amount. And the way it'll work is the consent order will state, on this date, you're going to make sure that this half amount, we call it an instanter, is paid to the lender. And then you're going to resume making your normal mortgage payments next time they come due. And then typically on the 15th of the month, because we like the 15th of the month, I guess, the 15th of the month, you make an extra payment. We call it a stipulation payment. You're going to make this payment to get you caught up. And typically it's for 6 months. In some really bad cases, we can try to ask for more, but 6 months is what everybody is usually okay with. And then you make that payment for the stipulation payment for 6 months. And at the end of the 6 months, you then just make your normal monthly mortgage payment. Life goes on. So that is typically how a consent order is reached. Now, consent orders also can be reached if you don't do things in your Chapter 13 case, like you got a tax refund and you were supposed to pay it in and you didn't. You got behind on your trustee payments. For some folks, they transferred something they weren't supposed to. So we can do consent orders to fix boo-boos in your case. So consent orders can be done on a variety of matters. Typically, the consent orders you're going to see in a Chapter 13 case are going to be related to your mortgage and a motion for relief from stay, but they can be on anything. But the point is, this is an order and it's something that is agreed to. So for us, we're going to be talking with our client to say, okay, can you do it or not? I mean, you know your life better than we do. So I can't make your payments for you. I need you to tell me if you're going to be able to do it. And if you're not, maybe you do need to let your case dismiss and refile. Sometimes that's a better choice. Or maybe the stay needs to get lifted. Maybe you need to look at selling the home if you can't afford it. I mean, those are hard things to face, but sometimes you have to face that. It is what it is. And we can't always keep everything that we want. So these are times that we're going to, of course, go back to our clients, say, okay, this is what we're trying to work out. You will, of course, review it. You'll have to, agree to it because this is an order that's going to be entered in the court. And then as long as you're complying with it, everything is good. So that is what a consent order is. By the way, you will get a copy of the consent order from the court. And I don't know how many times I have to say this. Please open the mail that you get from the court. I don't know how many times we'll be speaking to clients and they're like, well, I got some letters, but I haven't opened it. Why? Why on earth would you not be opening your letters from the court? And you're in a federal case. Make sure that you're opening your letters because that's also going to be, you're going to get literally a physical order in the mail. But that's consent orders. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Information is below.